Hello, and welcome to SchedulesPlus tutorials. Today we're going to take a look at the Cafe module. The Cafe module can be used in a cafeteria or a gift shop or anywhere where you're really looking for a cash register type of function. It looks and feels just like a cash register. You can use this with a touch screen or with a mouse. Cash register function is available for any number of cashiers, so you can define various individuals that are your cashiers, and they each have an independent sign-in, and their information, the sales that they make, are connected to them through reporting. If I'm going to make a sale, I can make a sale to a specific individual. So you could have an individual who comes in and has a scan card and can actually scan their card, and you can connect that sale to them. Or you can use the default cafe guest. As you make a sale, your product items are on the right hand side. They're buttons, and as you click a button, you'll see the items show on the left. If you click a button more than once, it adds that item multiple times. If you want to cancel the sale, you can click the Cancel Sale button. It gives you a confirmation, and it clears it and returns you to the default guest cafe. I can add any number of items here. I'm going to add 2 coffees. And then here we've set up add-ins, and I'm going to add an espresso shot, and we'd like to have almond milk for those. So you can see here the use of the buttons can allow you to add additional features of a specific item. So in this case, coffee with some add-ins. I can also, in my tab of breakfast, I'm going to have an omelet. When I open that item, the omelet has a default price of $3.79, but perhaps we have a special today and it's $3.50 just for today. I can update that item, and now the omelet is reflected. And if I'm going to have 2 of those, I can add the quantity as reflected. I can also have other items. Perhaps there's something that there's not a button for it, and I can have other, and I can actually type in the item. The price of that item, and how many. So that item is now reflected on the page as well. You can see the buttons at the top give you a large portion of options for configuring your various pages. When you're done with the sale, you also have the option of applying discounts. You can hide the discount option if you don't want to use it for your account. In this case here, we're going to apply a discount of 10%. You'll see the $14.74 subtotal minus the discount, and then tax is automatically calculated. When you set up your cafe and you are defining your products, you can define product by product if that one should be taxed. You also have an option of making a sale tax exempt. Again, this is an option you can turn on or off for your account. If I identify that it's tax exempt and I change my mind, I can just simply click the button again. Let's identify this as tax exempt. When we're ready to accept payment, you go to the payment area. This is going to be paid for with $15 cash. There are multiple payment options: check, credit, comp. If you are giving complimentary items at your cash register, so you can actually identify that something would be comped and a person didn't actually have to pay for it. And you can identify the specific account that would go for. If I were comping here, there's only one account that this particular client was set up for. So if I wanted to comp that to the volunteer account, I could do so. I'm going to use cash in this transaction. Now it takes me to my final save payment and print receipt. If you've turned on for your account the ability to accept change and donate change, you can ask the individual if they'd like to donate any portion of their change of $1.73 to your account. And in this case here, they'd like to donate 73 cents, meaning that their change due then would be $1. If they wanted to donate all of it, you could override it and put in the full amount. When I save this, it gives me a nice receipt that I can print showing the specific transactions. It also shows the discounts applied to each individual item where the donation was made, and the total we received in terms of payment. When I want to print this, I can simply print and close, or if I need to come back and redo the transaction or void it, I also have a void button. If I want to view the receipts that I've processed as a cafe cashier, I can click on View Receipts. And here we see that particular transaction. I can always click on the receipt number to see it again, but you can see a nice summary of all the transactions that I processed as a cashier today. Who they were for, the original totals, discounts, whether it was tax exempt, and so forth. At the end of the day, when I want to do my cash out report as a cashier, I can simply click on Cash Out Report. I can identify the length of time I was cashier. I can filter that report. And in this report then I can see all of these sales, the items discounted, taxes I collected, total sales. People can actually put money on deposit in their account if you wish to add to their prepay funds, so it will show that here as well. It separates the sales from the donations. It gives the payment type drawer totals that I would expect to see, and it will also identify any voided sales. I can return to the register, and I'm prepared for the next transaction. If I need to open my drawer, you can attach a PIN code to the drawer and add that PIN code, check the PIN, and when the drawer opens, it will print a short receipt and it will add that to your audit trail log as in the admin side of the product, so that you will always have a record of when the cash drawer was opened. If I want to connect this to a specific person, perhaps Mary is joining us, we can now make the sale specific for Mary and select those items. If Mary wants to use prepay to pay for her purchase, she can do that simply by clicking the Use Prepay button. And when we save that receipt, it will show that she used prepay funds. She didn't have to give us any cash or check for that transaction. It's cleared and ready then for the next guest in line. Now let's take a look at what that looks like on the admin side. From admin, we click on Cafe and Receipts, and we see the daily receipts. We can filter the listing of receipts by day, month, by specific range, by category or product. You have a number of options that you can choose from, but the default view when you come to look at receipts is to take a look at those that were for today. You can export this view, and you can sort it by the various column headers. So you can view any receipt that was made. You can see here there was a deposit to Mary's prepay account that she had made. And then you can see any number of the receipts that were processed for the day, and you'll actually see the same receipt that was given to the customer. You can see your daily drawer totals here as well. If you'd like to see reports, there's a number of reports that are already pre-developed for Cafe. If you just click on the Reports tab, you will see the sales summary for the day. Again, here you can filter by day, month, week, or specific date range, category, product, and so on. So you can see the sales summary, the original sales, discounts, voids, and so on. It will also give you an accounting summary, so as you defined your products to the system, you'll be able to say this product sale goes to this accounting code that matches your accounting and bookkeeping system. You'll see a drawer total by payment type. If you wanted to see cash out reports and you wanted to run it for specific cashiers, you can do so, so it would match your individual cashier's report that they did for you. Then you can see the details in a variety of ways, whether it's detailed by the line item, the product itself, again sortable by the column headers, or you can see details by customer summary. To set up your cafe, to see all of those buttons, to get them in the order that you'd like them, you would do that through the setup of the cafe on the admin side. First, you define your categories. So all the tabs that you see on the top, these are considered to be categories. So you first define those categories and what those short codes will be for those categories. Then you define your products, and as you define a product, you connect it to the tab or category you want it to show up under. You can see here the small coffee was defined. You can actually define and specifically assign that item to a specific button location. As you look at your cash register, you've got 5 spots across and 6 spots down, giving you 30 buttons to choose from. And as you look at it, you can actually see a sample as you've defined your buttons as you're creating them. So you don't actually have to go to the cafe cash register to see what your button layout will look like. It actually allows you to show you that as you're developing your buttons and creating them. If you were to edit any button, this is what you'd see. So you can see here the small coffee is under the hot beverages tab. Its location is button number 1. I want it to be yellow on the page. You can differentiate the price between members and non-members. You can also say whether or not you're going to offer an alternate price. So you may say the normal price is 95 cents, but if you turn alternate price options on, your cashier could in fact change that price if needed. You can identify taxes, and then as mentioned earlier, the accounting code. So that again is a quick view of the cashier and the cafe module. Thank you for joining this tutorial.